more often than not, you're going to find yourself cruising along. Things started well. Everybody's getting along. Everybody seems to be getting what they want. And then all of a sudden, somebody puts on an act. A family member, a child, adult child. And you think it's all going to just go away, but it's happened before. These people have done this before. It's time to bring some void into the relationship, some space into the relationship. So it might be the flying monkeys or relatives, or might even be the person themselves. They bung on an act and cause a reverse devalue. They make you devalue them, a reverse devalue. And that's because of the void. You're getting tired of no text replies, no phone calls, how you going? You make arrangements and they're not turning up on time, or they're turning up under the influence, or stoned or whatever. I mean, these people are pretty self-unaware, and you throw a reverse devalue. Reverse devalue is you start to devalue this person. Your frustration rises, your tolerance lowers, and the next thing you know, you've got yourself in a breakup. Once the breakup happens, that other person, if they're passive aggressive, will go silent. They're going to play you. They're going to continue on the path of relationship ruination that they're already on. Now, this comes down to, and this is where we're not trained or culturalized to say, no, I'm not doing this. This is not adding up. It's not healthy for me to be in a relationship with someone that is neglecting their responsibilities within it, or their commitments within it, and that's rightfully so. But what happens? There's no phone call. The void is real. The void that you were trying to stop has become real. It's gotten worse. I mean, this time there's a complete separation. The other person ain't rising up. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, a week, 2 weeks. And at this point, you're thinking, oh, well, that's the end of that. And believe me, for the other person's part, it is. They ain't coming back. That's the type of character that you're dealing with. They don't know how to resolve. They'll cause trouble and don't want resolve. You see, that's the thing. People who cause trouble don't want resolve. They couldn't care less about resolve. They couldn't care less if they keep or lose a relationship. They go from one mix up to the next until they end up sick, tired, broken, without anything, all on their own, feeding cats, dogs, lizards, rabbits, rats, ferrets, whatever their snakes, whatever their pet of choice is, while they really shouldn't be meeting people that are trying to produce a proper healthy relationship. Now, if you were given a performance card from each person that you met, a proper performance card, a real life rundown of what they were like, how they performed, a lot of these people you wouldn't bother with, because a lot of them they really can't look after themselves physically, mentally, or anything else. And the ones that physically do, usually they've got some kind of mental health hiccup, one thing or another, or they're enmeshed with their children, or they've got a drug habit and they're a functioning addict, alcoholic. A lot of these people are somatic. They are sex driven, and that takes a lot of work to keep up with one of those, particularly if you're not an addict or substance user yourself. You better be on your game, or they'll end up jumping the fence to find someone that can keep up with their supply. They actually get confused and they go bent and twisted when they meet someone that's normal, that can actually sustain a good, strong, healthy sex life. That can really ruin the mind of one of these somatic sinners or personality disordered people. They'll go into a narcissistic collapse if they lose that person, because that's A-grade supply, unassisted, maximum performance across the board. It's A-grade supply. These addicts and alcoholics that are somatic, they haven't got the mental capacity to carry on with anything constructive that'll last. Everything just goes to ruin mentally through the substances and the alcohol. It's usually generational. The children will be messed up and wrecked up and abused by the parents, who pass on their bad habits to the children. You'll find, as I always say, these people are running what they believe to be medical centres. They've got their preferred drug of choice for their use to ease the reality of the mess they're making in life. Very sad. And the children go down that path as well. I've seen it every time. And in some cases the children are worse, and they're just going to be a thorn in the side of anyone that comes along, because they're enmeshed with the parent. Even the adults, 20, 30, 40, 50-year-old adults, they rely on the parent, who becomes a friend. And you should never be the friend of your children. Get along and be a parent, but never a friend. You might disagree with that, but no. And so when you realize that you don't belong in this group, in this family, you're not welcome, you're not of the same toxicity, because a lot of these people thrive on toxicity. It's boring without drama. Oh, when you realize that you're in a situation that's not good for you, and it's not going to be good really for anybody else. These people are too far gone, too set in their ways. And you get out, you stay out, you don't ring, contact, leave them people alone. They don't want you around. They got what they wanted. It's not going to work out. Go no contact and never go back.